Yes, welcome back to Football Heritage TV for another episode of 10 in 10. Look who we've got, fresh from the Football Terrace. We have got Terry Flewers. How you doing, Tel?
I'm very well, my friend. Very good. It's nice to be here on the channel finally, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, listen, these are the moments where we get YouTubers, we get ex-players, pundits. We ask them 10 questions. They've got 1 minute to answer each question. There's no right or wrong. It's your opinion. I'm looking forward to some of your answers. And just for clarity, this will probably go live next week. So right now we are filming just before Man United play Galatasaray in the Champions League, just so people have a time frame. Terry, let's crack on with it. Are you happy for question one?
Let's go for it.
All right. Terry, who was the best manager in the Premier League era and why for all of the Premier League?
It's simple for me. 13 league titles, 3 and a bounce on 2 occasions, the first ever treble winner within that period as well. It's Sir Alex Ferguson, not just for what he won, but for his man management, to be able to manage through the decades, through the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the noughties, the teenies, as well, the records that he set, the innovations that he brought to the game, removing things like alcohol, bringing in rotation to squads, which was never done until he came along, and just so many iconic moments that in 50, 100, 200 years will still live on. So for me, the best manager in the Premier League era is and will always be Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, people always forget what he did in Scotland as well before he came to Man United. So yeah, top manager. We've had some very different answers to this question. Next question. The best Manchester United player in the Premier League era. And you've had a fair few along the way. Who's the best one and why?
Such a hard question.
I know.
I'm going to answer this as the best for me personally is Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs, he's been there from the start of the Premier League until the last time we won it in 2013.
Yeah.
He scored some great goals. He was this marauding winger who, for a decade and a half, was the best left-sided attacker, left winger in the Premier League, one of the best in Europe. But as he got older, as his body got older, he moved into midfield. And this was a 36, 37, 38, 39, 40-year-old playing central midfield in the hardest league in the world, still dominating, still winning Premier Leagues. So when I look at him as an overall football player, to go from marauding left winger, who could also play as a striker, who, as he got older, moved into central midfield in the Premier League, and he maintained a top-class to world-class level from the age of 17 to 40 years of age, he, for me, is the best Man United player in the Premier League era.
I'd say absolutely crazy how much this man gets overlooked in conversations of greats. Always crazy. Next question isn't Man United. Oh, it could be Man United. I don't know. Who will win the Premier League this season and why?
It's the 29th of November, 2023. At this point, my favourites are still Manchester City. They're the best team in the world. Yes, they've got Liverpool. Yes, they've got Arsenal breathing down their necks. However, I just haven't seen enough yet from Liverpool and Arsenal to say they will beat them to the title. That could change. But as of now, it could be 4 on the bounce, a new record for Premier League football as well. But if I'm picking, I'm going with Manchester City.
Man City. But I'm guessing you want it. Who would you want to win it? Just quickly, a bonus question. Who would you want to win it? Because obviously you're a Man United fan. City are rivals. You don't get on with Liverpool. I mean, is the best case scenario for you Arsenal winning the league? If it's not Man U?
I mean, if I could pick anyone to win it other than City this year or Liverpool or Man United, it would be like Luton or somebody, but it's not going to happen. So, look, the teams are probably in the title race. It would be Arsenal because Liverpool would equal our total number of titles and City would do 4 in a row, which we've never done. So I care about the records that have created the legacy of my football club, and I don't want them broken. So, yeah, begrudgingly, I'd pick Arsenal. I want Man United to do it. We're nowhere near it. So, yeah, Arsenal out of those 3 would be my personal pick.
There we go. Next question. Everyone talks about this every day on the internet. I feel like they're going to do it for the next 100 years. Who was better in their prime? Is it prime Messi or prime Ronaldo, and why?
Cristiano Ronaldo is one of my most favorite players of all time. He he is my personal GOAT.
Mm.
He is what I love about football. I love his directness. I love the way he dribbles. I love the variety of goals. I actually love his attitude, even when he's being petulant. I love it. When Messi won that World Cup, though, I was there. I was in Doha. I conceded live straight after the game, having won everything in club football. The goals he scored, the assists, his quality on the ball, his passing range, his longevity, and then leading his club to that World Cup. Lionel Messi, again, I say this through bated breath and it hurts me, but Lionel Messi is and was better.
Look at those gritted teeth, like they didn't want to open to say it. But yeah. Okay, all right, Lionel Messi it is. We talk about things like this a lot on your show. If you could get rid of one thing from football in 2023, what would it be? Why are we getting rid of it?
So I was an advocate of this when it first came in because I believed I saw so many times Frank Lampard's goal that never stood. Man United having an offside goal ruled out against Porto. That famous game where Jose Mourinho run down the touchline.
Yeah.
I wanted video assistance referees. I wanted VAR. I wanted goal line technology. I wanted technology to stop bad decisions from happening.
Yeah.
However, it's got out of control. The rules have become convoluted. They've become murky. The use of VAR is absolutely scandalous. The inconsistencies are absolutely ridiculous. And for me, if I had a magic wand today, I would remove VAR from football. I would keep goal line technology. I would bring in semi-automated offside like they have in the Champions League. But every other element of VAR for me would disappear straight away.
I noticed that you didn't mention the Pedro Mendes goal in the VAR conversation there. The famous Pedro Mendes goal. Remember?
I know. It was well over the line. Well over the line.
Absolutely. Here we go. Back five. The worst player you have seen in a Manchester United shirt. You can give me two or three if there's more than one that stands out.
So, Bebe was absolutely horrendous. I don't understand it. Still to this day, one of the biggest mistakes that the manager ever made. There was a player called years back, David Bellion, I think his name was, another one, absolutely horrendous football player. And goalkeeper, Tahibi, an absolute shocker. So yeah, those three, Bellion, Tahibi, and Bebe would be the worst three I've seen.
God, wow. I remember Bebe. Yeah, that was a crazy signing. Okay. Who is the best player to have played in the Premier League? Now, we've asked, we've had 30 or 40 of these filmed so far, and you get the same sort of 4 or 5 names, but every now and then we get a little bit of a left field answer. Are we going to get a left field or are we going to get one of the obvious ones? Who do you reckon?
So, Thierry Henry is crowned as the Premier League's GOAT.
Right.
I understand when you look at the framing of that argument, the amount of seasons here, the titles, etc. For me personally, I think that there are players in this argument like Paul Scholes, Wayne Rooney, that need to be considered as genuine challengers. Sergio Aguero, genuine talent challengers to that claim. But for me, the best player that's ever played here, it's only one person, and it's Cristiano Ronaldo. What he has achieved in football eclipses, at club level especially, every other player that's played here. The goals, the longevity, the Champions Leagues, the league titles, the international success, the international goals. Nobody that's ever kicked a ball in the Premier League is as good as Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, you asked me earlier who Man United's best ever player was.
Yeah.
Giggs gets it because of that longevity and what he did. But in terms of that best ever player, it's in my lifetime, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Overall, you're looking at Bobby Charlton. So Bobby Charlton, you're looking at Dennis Law, you're looking at Jules Best as well, because they achieved the level they were at. But I didn't watch them play. It's very hard to judge people that you're only watching on video. But Cristiano Ronaldo, he is the best player to ever play in the Premier League based on ability, based on outputs, longevity, and the trophies he won. Nobody, in my opinion, comes close.
Not even Marcus Rashford.
No, not even.
No, not even Rashford. Not even Rashford.
That's why I go with Ronaldo.
Question number 8. I don't know why I haven't started this with a capital letter, so I do apologise. If you could bring back one in their prime, who would it be? Would it be Scholes or Rooney? Paul Scholes or Wayne Rooney in their prime?
Based on what Man United need right now, it'd be Paul Scholes. We need a new midfield. Like we've got some people that can score some goals. Yeah. We need a midfield, and I think that although like Rooney, it's so hard. I go with Paul Scholes. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to go Paul Scholes.
Do you think he gets enough credit, Paul Scholes, for how good a footballer he was?
No, nowhere near enough credit. His ability on the fact that he could play attacking midfield, he played central midfield, is in box to box. He then played as a DM in his latter years. He was 38 years of age, dominating midfields in the Premier League, winning Premier League titles. Most other top Premier League midfielders, when they were 36, 37, 38, look where they were. Look what clubs they were at, or they retired, and this guy was still dominating and was at the top level. So for me, Paul Scholes is the best ever midfield player in Premier League football history.
Big shout, big shout. My favourite two questions that I keep asking people are the last two. I want to know, Terry, what's the worst football opinion you've heard? Now, this could be from a guest on your show, someone in your chat, a commentator, a player, a manager. This could be anything. The worst opinion you've heard on football.
So I have two that I have to go. The first one is, I don't remember which pundit it was on TalkSport, but they stated that Sir Alex Ferguson has not left a legacy in football. Oof. He has not left a lasting legacy in football. As soon as I heard it, I just thought that's just the dumbest thing any human being has ever said about football. To suggest that a man like Fergie's left zero legacy, that people won't remember him, it's crazy. The second one comes from Mr. Lee Gunner, who stated on the Football Terrace Straight Fact Show that Danny Welbeck was a superior football player to Mohamed Salah.
And he meant it?
He meant it. He meant it.
Can I just say, Terry, before you carry on, Matisse did one of these 2 hours ago before I did your show. Matisse did one of these. When I got to this question, his answer was also Lee Gunner, but for a different opinion. And you know who I'm doing one of these with at 6:30 tonight?
Lee Gunner.
Lee Gunner. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. That's an opinion and a half.
It is. Yeah. He said Mo Salah, Danny Welbeck is a better football player than Mo. He said another one as well. He said that Dennis Bergkamp was a better finisher than Ronaldo. And he says that finishing is different from scoring goals. And I still, to this day, don't understand what that means. But yeah, it is what it is.
I love Lee so much. This is brilliant. I can't wait to bring this up with him. And then the last question, what I want to know, Terry, is what is Terry Fleur's most controversial opinion? Something that you believe in. Everyone else thinks you're crazy, but you stand by it and you believe it.
Michael Carrick is the most underrated football player in Premier League football history. And if England would have built a midfield around him during his pomp, the golden era that he was in, with the Ashley Coles, the Wayne Rooneys, the Gerrards of this world, the Rio Ferdinands, John Terrys, could have won a major trophy. We lack the control in midfield. And he was utilising that position by Sir Alex Ferguson, the greatest manager of his generation, for over a decade, won everything in English football, won more in English football than all the other midfielders did, and he just wasn't fashionable. He just wasn't a headliner. He wasn't the main dish, but he was so needed. And if he was around in 2023, he'd be England's main midfield player, because I think our football palette has developed as time has gone on. We appreciate players like Michael Carrick now in 2023, where 10, 15, 20 years ago, it was all about scoring screamers and how hard you went into tackles and not so much controlling games. So yeah, for me, my most controversial football opinion is Michael Carrick, the most underrated Premier League football player ever.
Terry, just before we finish, I'll just say to you that I think if that is your most controversial opinion ever, I'm right there with you. I think Michael Carrick is so unlucky that we had managers that couldn't quite decide how they were going to incorporate Gerrard and Lampard together. And instead of changing the formation to put Carrick at the base and then let those two go in front of him, he suffered as an England player. Top class central midfielder. I think he was world class. This guy was different gravy. Terry, thank you so much. Thank you for giving us 15 minutes of your time. No, you're busy. Really appreciate it. I would say everyone go over and subscribe. Everyone knows where to find Terry, Football Terrace. Please
Thank
go
you,
and smash the subscribe button. Subscribe to Football Heritage TV as well. And as always, thanks everyone. Join us next time for a 10 in 10. And as always, Southgate out. And come on, you Spurs.